Barcelona. There was a roar outside like a rocket arching over the roofs this morning. Then, under the black iron balconies, a brass band marching, detonated for some saint or labor union, defending Catalonia with civic thunder. You smile down at them with their banners and sashes, but all you did in Barcelona was cough, like one of those veterans with mournful mustaches left over from the Civil War. That is not enough for such a great city. But you take time in portions, one cough at a time, your personal thunder that turns compassionate heads. What I had waited for was the name to be a banner over every street. Crucifixions on velvet, candles and purple crepe for the crowd in the plaza to leap to its feet at the flourish and trembling stasis of the Matador's cape. I could never join in the parade. I can't walk fast. Such is time's ordinance, lungs that rattle, eyes that run. Now Barcelona is part of the past.
Love after love. The time will come when, with elation, you'll greet yourself arriving at your own door, in your own mirror, and each will smile at the other's welcome and say, "Sit here, eat." You will love again the stranger who was yourself. Give wine, give bread, give back your heart to itself, to the stranger who has loved you all your life, whom you ignored for another, who knows you by heart. Take down the love letters from the bookshelf, the photographs, the desperate notes. Peel your own image from the mirror. Sit, feast on your life.
I suspect that there are poems that a poet will write, and even at the moment of writing it, you kind of know that it can be used as an epitaph. And I suspect Walcott must have known it about this poem. Just read the first part. The Spoiler is a famous calypsonian from Trinidad who is associated with a band called Desperados. And in the poem, Walcott imagines that Spoiler has come back from the dead. The Spoiler's return. I sit high on this bridge in Laventille, watching that city where I left no will but my own conscience and rum-eaten wit, and limers passing me where I sit, ghost in brown gabardine, bones in a sack and ball. Yes, Spoiler boy, when you come back. And those who bowl don't feel they're out of place to peel my lime-skin back and see a face with eyes as cold as a dead mackerel. And if they still can talk, I answer, hell. I have a room there where I keep a crown, and Satan send me to check out this town. Down there, the hot boy have a stereo where whole day he does blast my kaiso. I beg him 2 weeks leave, and he send me back up, not as no bedbug or no flea, but in this limeskin hat and flossy suit to sing what I did always sing, the truth. Tell desperados when you reach the hill, I decompose, but I composing still.
A far cry from Africa. A wind is ruffling the tawny pelt of Africa. Kikuyu, quick as flies, batten upon the bloodstreams of the veldt. Corpses are scattered through a paradise. Only the warm Colonel of Carrion cries, waste no compassion on these separate dead. Statistics justify and scholars seize the salience of colonial policy. What is that to the white child hacked in bed, to savages expendable as Jews? Threshed out by beaters, the long rushes break in a white dust of ibises whose cries have wheeled since civilization's dawn from the parched river or beast-teeming plain. The violence of beast on beast is read as natural law, but upright man seeks his divinity by inflicting pain. Delirious as those worried beasts, his wars dance to the tightened caracas of a drum, while he calls courage still that native dread of the white peace contracted by the dead. Again, brutish necessity wipes its hands upon the napkin of a dirty cause. Again, a waste of our compassion, as with Spain, the gorilla wrestles with the Superman. I, who am poisoned with the blood of both, where shall I turn, divided to the vein? I, who have cursed the drunken officer of British rule, how choose between this Africa and the English tongue I love? Betray them both, or give back what they give? How can I face such slaughter and be cool? How can I turn from Africa and live?
You might not be able to tell, but some of us are up here just shaking. Reading these poems feels so momentous. Arlo had asked us to finish up by 6:05, and we're such good colonially educated folks that we have obeyed, and we're early, actually, which I think means maybe we can read some more, if y'all will allow. I'm going to read an excerpt from Tales of the Islands, and I'm going to read a section that's written in the vernacular, in part because we often don't think of Walcott as doing that. Kai read some of that from the poem that he chose. But we also think of Walcott's work as being very introspective and meditative and serious, but he wrote really exuberant work as well. So I thought I'd read one of the fun ones. Tales of the Islands. This is chapter 6. Papa, that was a fete. I mean, it had free rum, free whiskey, and some fellas beating pan from one of them bands in Trinidad. And everywhere you turn, people was eating and drinking, and don't name me, but I think they catch his wife with 2 tests up the beach while he drunk quoting Shelley with, each generation has its angst, but we has none. And wouldn't let a comma in edgewise. Black writer chap, one of them Oxbridge guys. And it was wrong this part once that the heart of a young child was torn from it alive by 2 practitioners of native art. But that was long before this jump and jive.
Nice.
We'll
Now
up
we're
select
what should we do? I'll
Here, I
read
got
another
one.
one,
I've
and
got
we'll go
one.
backwards. We'll go back this way.
It's okay.
We'll end with Rowan again.
We'll up.
I'll read from A Village Life. I'll just read section 1. Through the wide, gray loft window, I watched that winter morning, my first snow. Crusting the sill puzzled the black, nuzzling Tom. Behind my back, a rime of crud glazed my cracked coffee cup. A snowfall of torn poems piling up, heaped by a rhyming spade. Starved on the prowl, I was a frightened cat in that gray city. I floated, a cat's shadow, through the black wool, sweaters, leotards, and
Parkers of the fire-haired, snow-shouldered Greenwich Village Madchan, homesick, my desire crawled across snow like smoke for its lost fire. All that winter, I haunted your house on Hudson Street, a tiring friend, demanding to be taken in, drunk, and fed. I thought winter would never end. I cannot imagine you dead. But that stare, frozen, a frosted pane in the sunlight, gives nothing back by letting nothing in, your kindness or my pity. No self-reflection lies within those silent ice-blue irises whose image is some snow-locked mountain lake in numb Montana. And since that winter, I have learned to gaze on life indifferently as through a pane of glass.
Something from another life. Holy were you, Margaret, and holy our calm. What can I do now but sit in the sun to burn with an aging mirror that blinds, combing, uncombing my hair, escape? No, I am inured only to the rail which burns, like the flesh of my children, a fire, inured, inward, as rock. I wish, as the rail rock I make rail, to have burnt out desire, lust, except for the sun with her corona of fire. Anna, I wanted to grow white-haired as the wave with a wrinkled brown rock's face, salted, seamed, an old poet facing the wind and nothing, which is the loud world in his mind. And he did.
All right, I'll just continue with spoiler. I see these islands and I feel to bawl, area of darkness with fierce nightfall. All those who promise free and just debate, then blow up radicals to save the state, who allow in democracy's defense a parliament of spiked heads on a fence. All you go ball out, spoils things ain't so bad. This ain't the dark ages, just Trinidad. Is human nature spoiler after all? It ain't big genocide, just bubble. Safe and conservative, afraid to take side. They say that Rodney commits suicide. Is the same voices that in the slave ship smile at their brothers. Boy, is just a whip. I free and easy. You see me have chain. A little censorship can't cause no pain. A little graph can't rot the human mind. What's sweet in goat mouth, sour in his behind.
Yes. Wow. St. Lucia's First Communion. At dusk, on the edge of the asphalt's worn-out ribbon, in white cotton frock, cotton stockings, a black child stands. First her, then a small field of her. Ah, it's First Communion. They hold pink-ribboned missals in their hands, the stiff plaits pinned with their white satin mots. The caterpillar's accordion still pumping out the mist along twigs of cotton from whose parted mouths the wafer pods in belief without an if. So, all across St. Lucia, thousands of innocents were arranged on church steps, facing the sun's lens, erect as candles between squinting parents, before darkness came on like their blinded saints. But if it were possible to pull up on the verge of the dimming asphalt, before its headlights glance their eyes, to house each child in my hands, to lower the window a crack, and delicately urge the last moth delicately in, I'd let the dark car enclose their blizzard, and on some black hill, their pulsing wings undusted, loose them in thousands of stagger, heavenward before it came on, the prejudice, the evil.
40 acres to Barack Obama. Out of the turmoil emerges one emblem, an engraving. A young Negro at dawn in straw hat and overalls, an emblem of impossible prophecy. A crowd dividing like the furrow which a mule has plowed, parting for their president. A field of snow-flecked cotton, 40 acres wide. Of crows with predictable omens that the young plowman ignores for his unforgotten cotton-haired ancestors. While lined on one branch are a tense court of bespectacled owls, and on the field's receding rim is a gesticulating scarecrow stamping with rage at him, while the small plow continues on this lined page beyond the moaning ground. The lynching tree, the tornado's black vengeance, and the young plowman feels the change in his veins, heart, muscles, tendons, till the field lies open like a flag as dawn's sure light streaks the field, and furrows wait for the sower.